Good morning. Welcome to Meditate with Marie and happy full moon day. Happy super full moon day. I know, let's put a moon emoji in the comments with a little heart to kick off the day. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to wait and see if anybody's going to join me live this morning. I'm just having a nice cup of tea after my breakfast. Good morning, Paula. How are you? My positivity powerhouse. I've woken up this morning. I never really check my phone until after I've had a yoga stretch. I did that outside this morning. It was lovely. Yoga stretch and breakfast. And I like to mindfully have my breakfast and that exercise and my mindset kind of foundations for the day without being online. That is an act of self-love, and that is an act of setting boundaries for myself. And those are the themes we're going to talk about today. But what I want to say is I've woke up this morning and I've literally just checked my messages with my cup of tea here. Quite a few people that I know have sent me messages with pictures of the moon from last night, and that just fills me with joy. It really excites me. So that's both my well, I've had messages from different platforms actually with just lovely pictures of the moon. So I'm really glad that so many of you were out and enjoying that last night, enjoying that scene and just that beautiful sky. Hopefully, with it being clear again, we'll get another good moon sighting tonight. But even if we don't, what a wonderful experience last night. As you may well know, I finished the live video for last night's Positivity Project talk and switched off my phone. Thought I'd look out the window just to check, see where the moon's at. And oh my goodness, it was literally huge, sitting on the top of the horizon. It couldn't have been positioned more perfect at that moment. And it uplifted me so much. So I just wanted to share that with you. And that is the power of nature. I like to observe the rhythms of nature and the moon cycles, and they are very positive practices. Good morning, Graham. Thank you for joining us again. How are you? You are fast becoming a positivity powerhouse too. So well done, both of you, for showing up, and also well done for anybody else who comes in later or watches this video back later today. Let's talk about self-love and setting boundaries, which mesh together really nicely, because setting boundaries for yourself is an act of self-love. Now, this is a topic I could really go nuts on. I could fill as much content as the Positivity Project in total with just the self-love theme. So I'm going to have to really in small and just stick with a couple of things to focus on today. I am glad that you're good, Graham. Well done. I mean, what a lovely morning. I am enjoying the morning, and I've really noticed that the sunrise is getting later and later, isn't it? I've actually made a decision, and this is an act of self-love as well. For the first time ever, I'm going to swap bedrooms in my home for the winter. I'm going to move into my spare room, which is a bit smaller. That's where I was last night for the chat. You could see my vision board behind me. That room, it gets more sunlight. It gets the sunrise, it gets the sunlight. And it's going to be warmer, isn't it, with it being a smaller room. So I'm going to move in there for the winter, just to be warmer, have a nice view, have that sunlight coming through on the morning, and enjoy sleeping underneath my vision board. It's going to be epic. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, actually. Anyways, let's reflect on self-love. I will keep this very brief, but my self-love journey started round about 7 or 8 years ago. Can't actually remember the exact time because it's like ancient history now, but I found myself coming out of a 10-year relationship. It was a horrible breakup, and I had to rebuild my life pretty much from scratch. So it was a very stressful time. I had to go through the heartbreak I was experiencing. I had to process everything while looking for a new home and trying to buy a house all by myself. It was a very stressful, anxious, uncertain time. but it was also one of the best times of my life. It's one of the best things that's ever happened to me, even though it's probably the second worst thing that's ever happened to me, because I got to build new foundations, I got to grow, and it also really triggered my spiritual awakening. So I'm grateful for that experience, but it also sent me down a path of self-love, because I realised without the kind of love of a romantic relationship or partner in your life, you have to reflect on all the other aspects of your life that are filled with love. Now that's family, friends, taking part in things that you love. I had to find like new social circles, and I've always loved walking, so I joined a walking group and I met loads of friends, and it was just wonderful. So I was focusing on things that I love, but really I had to give a lot of love to myself. I had to love and nourish myself through that breakup, through that rebuild, and that, you know, starting over quite thing. And if I only take one positivity practice and give it to everybody, apart from gratitude practice, it would be self-love. It's a big thing, and it's one of the best things you can do for yourself. All of these positivity practices can be classified as self-love. The gratitude, the positive influences, the exercise, spending time in nature, they're all ways which you can nurture and nourish yourself. But what I'm going to focus on today is, this is what's cool, right? The most important relationship you are ever going to have is the one you have with yourself. The most important relationship you're ever going to have is the one you have with yourself. So I'm going to ask you today to focus on your self-talk, because we're all human, and we can talk negatively to ourselves or about ourselves, and that's something we should consciously become aware of and strive to change. It's a really good practice to talk to yourself and about yourself in positive, uplifting ways. And this is going to begin to help with your mindset, your well-being. It'll improve your health, like literally. So I went through a little phase recently where I felt like I was really boring, and I struggled to fit in social situations and things like that. And I was like literally joking about it and telling people that I am really boring, and I was owning it, going like, yeah, I'm really boring, but I'm okay with that, you know. And I was walking around my house, doing my garden, things like that, going, yeah, I'm really boring, really boring. And then I like literally caught myself doing it. I'm like, Marie, that is negative self-talk. You know, I might be perceived as boring to some other people, but a lot of people tell me that I'm not boring. And I love myself, so why am I telling myself that I'm boring? Why am I comparing myself to other people? That doesn't serve me. That is low vibrational energies, and I just decided to shelve it, scrap it, and focus back on the positives in my life. So I tell myself positive things like, I love myself, I accept myself, I am creative, I am kind, all those things. And this is where the power of positive affirmations can really help. I'm going to talk more about them over the weekend. But we really need to become aware of what we're saying to ourselves within our own mind. So that's your thoughts. What you're saying about yourself, either out loud or to other people. So that's thoughts and words. And then you've got your actions. Are you taking action that is loving towards you? Now that might mean, again, setting a boundary where you restrict how much time and energy you spend with certain people or in certain situations, and that's a really big act of self-love. So I'm going to invite you today to reflect on your words, thoughts and actions towards yourself. Now this can be quite challenging for some people. Some people can feel quite uncomfortable with this, but please remember, positivity practices are practices. There's no such thing as perfection, and sometimes we have to power through a little bit of uncomfortableness to get something greater going on. And I'm going to refer you now to the lotus flower. It's the Buddhist kind of view of the lotus flower. There's a hand mudra that's a lotus mudra. It looks like this. You can hold your hands in front of your heart space like this. Helps you cultivate more compassion and love towards yourself and others in the world. Really awesome. after I bounced back from my really big breakup, however many years ago it was, and I felt more spiritually awakened, I really literally just surrendered it to the universe. I just went, okay, I surrender this to you. I ended up getting a lotus flower tattooed on my back, and I'll tell the story of the Buddhist lotus flower. So it represents spiritual awakenings, purity and faithfulness. And that can be like purity of thought towards yourself. Keeping your body pure is an act of self-love, you know. Don't trash it with alcohol, don't trash it with junk food, all those things, whatever it means to you. It's like a personal perception and how you feel about these things. So the lotus flower is a really, really pretty flower. Feel free to Google it. Maybe I'll try and find a picture of it actually. And it grows on pond water or and it's like this. Its bud forms underneath the surface of water, but it doesn't grow in clean, pure water. It has to come out of dark, murky, dare I say it, crappy water, and it breaks through the surface towards the sunlight, and then it blooms. And that represents, you know, life. Sometimes we have to experience some darkness. Sorry about that, I think my internet glitched. Yeah, so sometimes we do have to experience that kind of dark and murkiness so that we can rise above, break free and bloom in the sunlight into something pure, faithful, beautiful, all those things. I love the story of the lotus flower. So there we go. Paul is saying the more positive and the happier she is, the happier that you can make others. And that is so true. I'm gonna leave you with the thoughts of like, fill your own cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So you've got to love yourself and look after yourself first, and then you can give more out into the world. I don't know if you guys have heard of the loving kindness meditation. We've practiced it live together here before. And we're back, I'm really sorry about that. So it's a Buddhist meditation, and it's about looking after yourself so you can then give more to the world. I'll leave you with that thought. Yeah, Paula, you do have to look in the mud to find the gold. Or like Amanda Sellis says, you have to plant a seed in the soil in the darkness, and then it has to struggle to reach the surface, break through into the light and grow into something. You know, an oak tree comes from an acorn. That's a lot of work, isn't it? Louise, I am sorry, that is me, it's my connection. I do apologise for that this morning. I am going to go now. I've got to get ready to go to work. I'm working at the Wellbeing Centre first this morning, then heading into the salon. So I'm going to be back at an approximate time of 6:30-ish tonight with a short self-love little video. And also setting a boundary. I cannot give you an exact time because I'm going to be out and about moving around. So, but it's going to be approximately 6:30. You don't need to join me live for it. You can watch it back later at your own convenience, no problemo. I'm going to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to send you so much love. Give love to yourself, and then give love to others. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy full moon day. Bye for now.